Hey everybody, we'll get started in just a second. I'm sorry I didn't go live earlier today. I had some adulting to do. We'll give everybody a minute to get in here. Tell me in the chat how your day was, how your weekend was. Seahawks won. Hey Tara Sunflower. Thank you for the heart me. Hey Cherry. We're just waiting for a few more people to get in here before we start the video over here. And then I have stuff on the other side to show you guys. Hey, Miss Dre, how's everybody doing? Go ahead and start smashing that like button. Hey, Jess. I'm good. Like I said, I had a lot of adulting to do today. I had to call and yell at people. When I tell y'all, listen, I know a lot of people sit here and say, you know, they're the kind of parents that are like, oh, I'll show up. I'll make the time. I am that parent. I will actually make the time. I will go and find your unpublished office number and call you. Okay? I will sit in my car and eat my bologna sandwich and watch TikTok until I see you leave for lunch and then hop out of my car and accost you in the parking lot to talk to me, especially when it comes to my baby. Especially when it comes to my baby. I do not play when it comes to my baby girl. And so I had to be the mama bear today and start calling people. And I talked to a few people who didn't want to talk to me before I talked to the person I needed to talk to. But you note I said I talked to the person that I needed to talk to, because that's what we do. We make stuff happen. Baby girl deserves it. All right, we got 118 people in here. We're at 2,000 likes already. You guys are amazing. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is mostly not a verbal thing. It's literally them just walking through the house. In fact, I can probably get you guys a little bit closer for the view. We'll just monitor that. Is that good? Do you need me to move it down a little? Do you need me to get my big fat head out of the way? Oh no, where did it go? I need it up there, otherwise they'll tell me I'm being fake. Is that good? Okay. Hey, Coco. Ignore that right there, please. We're going to start going through the walkthrough again. And then I found some other stuff. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you some stuff while we're watching the walkthrough. If it gets to be confusing, let me know, and we can just watch the walkthrough while I do my research on the other side, and I'll just occasionally do this. To let you guys know that I'm not being fake. It's not fake. I'm really me. Me. Thank you for everybody's patience. As I was saying, I wasn't able to go live earlier today because I had to go be Mama Bear. And so I went and I was Mama Bear, and now we're live. So we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. This is the first video in their walkthroughs of Epstein's Palm Beach property. Just give it a minute to get rolling. Is it going to go? There we go. She's spinning. Give it a second. It'll come back up. Do I need to refresh? I hate you. Not y'all. I hate their player. There we go. I believe this one is the Palm Beach Police. Are we gonna... Goodness me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not with it today, am I? See if I can get my ish together. We do have some gift goals up there if you guys want to contribute some gifts to help support some of the things we're doing, like food boxes and all of that stuff. If you would like to help support my work, there is a link in my profile. It's the very last one. It says square.link, and you can make any size donation you would like to support my work here in reviewing the Epstein files, or you can not too. It's okay either way. If I can get this thing to play. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're good. Let me just adjust you guys so that y'all can get the best view. Is that good? Let me see. Can I get in a little bit closer? I want to make sure that I'm not cutting anything off. Okay. And we figured out who this dude is. I got a message from a watcher. This dude is Richard Kahn, his accountant, that I inappropriately labeled as his attorney before it struck me that his attorney is Darren Indike. Hey, Ash. So this is him reading the search warrant like we discussed last time. Do y'all like my little pointer? Ooh, I should use the other end. Hold on. We discussed this earlier. They have to read the entirety of the search warrant to him before they can start searching the house, and they have to get it on video. And we're doing the pointer so that they don't say it's fake engagement. It's not being smart.
Yes. And the laws of the state of Florida have been violated in or on premises known as 358 Old Road.
Let me give you a number.
To reach the premise desired to be searched, begin in the middle span of the Little Park Bridge, the middle bridge.
And unprofessionally, they're talking on the phone during the video.
0.6 of a mile. You reach South County Road. At South County Road, make a right.
Thank you for the gifts, everybody.
And travel approximately 0.8 of a mile to El Brillo Way. At El Brillo Way, make a right or a westbound turn and travel approximately.
They're literally describing how to get to the property so that there's no loopholes or any way for them to say that they searched the wrong property or it was an unlawful search or anything like that.
The premises desired to be searched is a two-story single-family residence made of CBS construction. The residence is pink in color with white trim and has a white concrete tile roof. The residence has two separate driveway entrances from El Brillo paved in large white tile. The easternmost driveway is separated by a large white in color concrete wall with black in color numbers 358 clearly displayed from El Brillo and leads to the east side of the residence. On the east side of the residence, there are 3 single-car garage doors, which are white in color, and the entry door also white in color.
This came out of the Florida investigation folder.
Color call box, which is fixed to the east side of the driveway. The westernmost driveway leads to the north side of the residence to a large white and colored double door on the first floor. The second story of the north side of the residence shows a small walkway with a white and colored metal railway and leads to 3 glass Chelsea-style doors. On the southeast corner of the residence is a single-story structure made of CBS construction and is white in color.
Hey, Tony, we're watching the beginning of the walkthrough at Epstein's Palm Beach property. This is Richard Kahn, his accountant, who is going to be there during their search, I guess, or receive the search warrant or whatever. Thank you so much, Matriarch.
Reasonably believed to be connected with said illegal activity. This is a complete description of the residence desired to be searched, including the curtilage attached thereof.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely talk about both Ghislaine today and them going and looking at the unredacted Epstein files. If y'all didn't gather from... Oh, hey, Sprite, I'm sorry. If y'all didn't gather from my videos that I posted today, I'm pretty ticked off at both of those situations.
Device performing logical
Absolutely ridiculous.
storage functions. Data storage
Thank you,
facilities,
Kim.
magnetic tape, hard disk, floppy disk, or drum, or CD-ROM, communications facilities.
We can definitely do a panel in a little while if a couple of y'all want to come up and talk about it.
Devices for
We haven't gotten to do that yet.
or records of or data produced in various forms, manuals, documents, or instructional material related to such devices. Computers, personal computers, computer peripherals, modems, computer printers, floppy disk drives.
Oh, yeah,
hard
she's
drives,
gonna get her
diskettes,
pardon.
tapes, computer
She's
printouts,
enticing him or thinly veiled threatening him in just the right ways.
documentation. Cameras, photographs, negatives, motion pictures, videotapes, magazines, books, and other depictions of minors in sexual activity. Any device or equipment that can be used to transfer images to a computer-readable format.
Yep,
Any
Todding.
written
Todding Tam?
documentation or items
That's cute.
containing password or encryption codes. Any notes, ledger,
Right,
personal
Leanne.
photos,
Just
Rolodex,
so innocent. He's about as
any
innocent
form of
as
record data,
Shitler.
recording data of records and payments, telephone numbers, and names of girls that frequented the house. Any sexual devices to include, to which was used on witnesses/victims. And any hair, fiber, semen, and any other bodily fluid.
Well, I hate to break the news to her, but if she does get out, if he gives her a pardon and she gets out of jail and she tries to leave this country, there is like how many other countries that are opening investigations and are going to detain her the moment her feet touch soil?
Now therefore, you are either
I mean, let's be realistic here.
You are hereby granted all proper necessary assistance in the name of the state of Florida in the daytime or in the nighttime or on Sunday to forthwith search the said premises.
Yeah, Janie, that was actually, they debunked those pictures, in Tel Aviv and said that they were AI.
Or any part thereof shall be found.
Mila, this is the walkthrough of Epstein's Palm Beach property. They're just doing the formal stuff of reading the search warrant before they start searching.
The magistrate or any court having jurisdictions of the offense to be dealt with according to the law and forthwith make return of your doings upon execution of this warrant, which you are hereby commanded to execute as the law directs within.
You think so, Sandy? You think she's going to be the next one to take the quick route out in the public eye?
Make up at the time of place and seizure a full, true, itemized list and inventory of all items seized and taken in duplicate signed by you, and to then
I don't know.
and there give.
People are asking if anybody not connected with the government or anything else saw his body after the incident.
The possession of anyone together with a duplicate of this warrant, and if not taken from the possession of anyone, then to any person in charge of said premises, and in the absence of any such person, to leave the same on the premises. The original of this warrant together with the
Not a little bit. If you're talking about the Tel Aviv pictures, they've been debunked. We were just talking about that.
within 10 days of the issuance of this warrant. Further, any property seized or taken shall be impounded for the use of evidence.
They claim there was an autopsy. I've got to go and see if anything was ever formally published.
Or possession of said property. Witness my hand and sealed this 18th day of October, AD 2005. Judge Laura Johnson of the Circuit Court, 15th Judicial Circuit, in and for Palm Beach County, Florida. Okay, this is your copy.
Yeah, Tater, they're saying that they were AI.
List of what items were taken. Okay? I would ask that you don't answer the telephone. I know that the gentleman had was having a conversation with Mr. Epstein at the time. So I'm sure he's trying to call.
No, there was no funeral service.
What was going on as soon as we're done. Okay?
I mean, he could be.
Just stay local here. Stay local right here.
All right, here we go. We're starting the walkthrough, so I'm going to have to talk to you guys while we do this. So this is the first closet. This is kind of where all the stuff was. Cleaning materials, things like that. What they do, and what ticks me off, is they do just a basic walkthrough. They don't really open like cabinets and stuff, which I absolutely would. I would be opening cabinets. There's all the towels for the massages. For the massages. And his cars. They said that the server was in his garage too. This is his garage. Hang on, where's my little pointer? This is his garage. And so I'm guessing when they turn around, you're going to see a whole wall of doors. I'm guessing that's where they were. I don't understand why they didn't open those. See the wall of just doors? I don't understand why they didn't open those to show the server and everything. And you'll see it again over here. Do you see all of the doors? This is the kitchen, I believe, that we saw in that video of him chasing the girls around the island. All of his books and stuff. He has little refrigerators and freezers like that all over the place. Thank you, Lula, for the heart me. Hey, Tanya. Thank you, Mr. Incognito. Thank you, Lulu. Hey, Reds. Here's some of those statues that they were looking for. When we read the other ones, take note of, like, he has so many photos. Yep, the black and white checkered floor. What's really creepy in his house is that he has a hanging sculpture of a girl hanging onto a rope, and he put a wedding dress on her, and you can clearly see that it looks to be a little girl. This is Epstein's Palm Beach property. No, Sarah, we are not angry enough. And everybody comments on just, like, I don't understand how this man was a multi-billionaire and his house looks like this. Like, I don't get it. There's Ghislaine and Epstein, but, you know, she didn't really know him that well after they stopped dating and stuff, right? Like, literally, these couches and stuff look so weak. They don't look like a billionaire's home. I mean, he clearly was not spending his money. They never did a walkthrough of the ranch, Ariel. They never did a walkthrough of the ranch. I saw stuff that said the ranch had like a cremation furnace in it. The people sitting outside are police. They're law enforcement. $5,000 a month? Jeez Louise. Some more of his audio and computer stuff. Look at all the glasses. Yep, cameras everywhere. Some of his most favorite girls, stuff like that. They didn't do a very good job of looking at the bookshelf that was over there. He was obviously planning on redecorating. The place is literally littered with law enforcement. Just kind of walking around, milling around, not really doing anything. I mean, I guess they could be searching, I don't know. But they certainly didn't record anything showing that they were searching. So the girls described a curved staircase up the back. I think that pink staircase that we see. Hold on, wait for him to turn back around. Thank you so much. I am Seely. This curved staircase here, I think, is one of the ones they were describing when they described stuff. Thank you, I'm Seely. All right, guys, we have one gift goal met. Can we meet the other two? Thank you, Tara. Thank you, I am Seely. Woohoo! Yes. Celebration, Orange Sky. Look at all, just look at how cluttered everything is. Thank you, I'm still here. Oh, thank you so much. I felt bad that I didn't go live earlier today because I had to do other stuff, but I knew you guys would understand. Do you guys recognize that desk? It was one of the ones that was in the auction. This was back, I want to say this was the most recent case when he was arrested and everything. No, this was the Florida case, so this may have been like 05-ish. That's the end of the first one. Let's go on to the second one. We're just waiting. Here we go. Yes. Are you gonna open? Where is it? Oh, here. It may not open this one for us. It doesn't look like it's going to. No. Okay, we'll go on to number 3. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Well, you got to remember that these are coming from the archives because they took everything down. Okay, good. This one's going to go. Oh my gosh, thank you, Orange Sky. They took the originals down. So this is coming from the archive. So we're kind of at the mercy of the archive and what they stored and what they still have. This is going to be the outside stuff. That creepy building he has right there. And the shed. I really wish they would have taken like luminol and stuff into the shed and like this building here. And just to see if it lit up. If y'all catch my drift. You know, like with the mop and stuff there, I would have just been really interested to see if like any of that lit up on the concrete and stuff. He may not have righteous. He may have done it in other places. It just, you know, you see the darker stains and it just feels peculiar to me. They did an extremely sloppy job. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Tanya. See, like, do you see the stains? Do you see the stains? I'd like to know what those stains are. I saw some stuff in the files that said that in these rooms, girls would just lay on the pads and wait to be let out, that they would be locked in there. Thank you, Vintage. That's why I'm just really curious about like the stains and stuff. I don't know, maybe it's me and I just haven't been in enough rich people's homes. I mean, I've been in rich people's homes. I grew up in Texas where I went into some massive homes. But I never saw them this cluttered all the time. No, this isn't the island. This is the Palm Beach property. I never saw them with this much, like, just clutter. Everything was always really organized and stuff. A woman should have led the investigation. You're absolutely right. A billionaire trap house. Yeah, Laura, this is a billionaire's house. It's an operation. I agree. Staged? It could be. I mean, no doubt he has a lot of prints that are probably expensive. Look at that old ass TV. Like, this tells you how long ago it was. The house is very Floridian. As somebody who has lived in Florida, I can tell you that, like, the slightly neon pastels is very, very Floridian. And really, honestly, the rattan furniture and stuff is very Floridian. I just would, I don't know. I guess maybe it's just me. I would expect with that kind of money, it would have been the slightly nicer stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is giving late 80s, early 90s. Which, I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, being out of date by 10 years isn't that bad. Somebody stayed in there. They obviously went through stuff because they have a bunch of boxes and stuff on the bed. When he spins around, you'll see it. I'm just so curious from the time he got busted until the time they actually went and searched stuff. I'm just so incredibly curious how much stuff his people took out of the house before they got to it. I think that they had a pretty good clip of information. On top of that, they really flubbed the investigation because when they did this walkthrough and did the original search warrant, they left stuff behind to go get another search warrant for it, and they didn't secure the property. And some of his house managers and his employees actually took some of that stuff and then had to give it back. I don't know if that's his island or something. I sent it to my man. He's a cartographer. But he didn't get back to me. And see, I would have answered that phone. I would answer that phone and been like, what are you looking for? Just to kind of catch it. Is that France? Oh, okay. I mean, just more evidence against him if somebody's calling in to, like, get a girl or a guy, right? Yeah, this is a horrible walkthrough. I would have been opening everything. I would have been opening drawers. You know, you have a full-on search warrant. Open your drawers. You're allowed to look anywhere where you think any of that stuff may be contained. You're talking about laptops. You're talking about cell phones. Why wouldn't they be in a drawer? Why wouldn't they be behind a cabinet? Open the doors. Right, Cherry? I'd be flipping tables and stuff. I'd be tossing that bitch like I was robbing it. It's not so much that they dropped the ball, it's that they didn't plan on doing anything in the first place. This is the case where the prosecutor was told to back off, that he's above your pay grade, and he got that sweetheart deal. This is literally all just for show. Right, they don't know, Tiffany, because they didn't bother to open any of them. Like, I would have been flipping open all of those books. Spin through one, throw it on the ground. Spin through one, throw it on the ground. They're literally doing a walkthrough like they're trying to preserve and not disturb his shit so that he can come home and get right back to it. I would have been flipping through every single one of those books to see if there's photos in there, if there's evidence in there. They didn't, Tara. They didn't hardly do anything. They went in and they took the electronics and that and the photographs that were on tables, and that's pretty much it. They left everything else in place. See, he should have pulled that computer out and looked at the back of it. I'm sorry, I'm pointing at my phone. He should have pulled that tower out that was down here and looked at the back of it and gotten the serial number. At a minimum. I would have been opening all them bathroom drawers. I would have been looking up to see if the ceiling has tiles and it's a drop roof. If it was, I would have been popping that drop roof open. I'd be flipping that mattress up right there and seeing if there's anything under it. Like, I would have tossed that sucker like I was trying to catch my husband cheating. Probably, Janine. I mean, it's clear that they didn't put in a whole lot of effort. They went back after, did you see the binders? The binders were in those, these binders, well, if he's going to show it again. These binders right there, did you see it? You caught a glimpse? Those were the binders that they were talking about in that third or fourth search warrant.
This is the exit photographs. It is now...
See, the one that they won't let us see on the Wayback Machine is the one that shows the bedrooms and stuff. They took it down. Right, Giorgio. Go through the frickin' lint. Go through all of it. Why are you not checking all of that stuff? I'd be tossing all them towels. Every last one of them just tossed. Hey, Tito, this is the walkthrough of Epstein's Palm Beach property. See the doors now over here? That's where they said the servers were. Why wouldn't you open those doors to see if the servers are in there? The only thing they did, another Marie, the only thing they did was go back and get the electronics and stuff. They didn't do an actual search. Like, all of the documentation shows that they didn't do like a real search. That's why women should have led this, because I guarantee you there would not have been a thread unturned had a woman done all of that. I would have opened all them drawers. I don't care about your tools. Look at all that stuff. I would have been all up in there. I would have been opening them car doors, looking for hairs. Absolutely. Just go in with a fan and a jar of print powder and just blow it and start running down it with like links of tape. It's so kind of them to do a final walkthrough to show that they didn't disturb any of his precious possessions. Right, Becker, and a black light. Luminol and a black light. Oh, Cherry, thank you. Right, Janine. If that was another person, that place would be a mess by now. It would look like somebody ransacked that bad boy looking for rugs. I'd be opening every single one of them cabinets. Every single one of them. Look at all that. Reaching my hand up on the top. Everything. Yeah, we're sure, Scarlett, that this is his house. And then now notice that they do zoom in on all of the property receipts for the electronics that they took. They do zoom in on that. Not much else. Yeah, this is his Palm Beach house. I don't know, Flamings. Yeah, Jess, it's Palm Beach. It's not the FBI case from 2017. This is his Florida case from like 05 or 07 or something like that, 08. There's a picture on the bookshelf over here that I've tried to see umpteen zillion times. It looks like he's holding a child. But it's always blocked when I try to see it. He's going to go over there again, but he's going to look at this. This one right here. I can't tell. It looks like he's got a child in his lap. What is that? Let me look at that up. Hold on. I'll write it down. EFTA 016486662.mp4. I'll look it up. Becca Day had it? Okay. Yeah, I'll look at it. Let me see. I don't think that's the same one. It just says no images produced. Let me try putting in MP4. Yeah, MP4 doesn't bring up anything. They may have removed it. If that's the case, then I'm going to have to go back and look through the entire thing to find it. Let's look at this one first. Let me back y'all off so we can get a bigger screen now. Oh, is this one not going to open either? Let me see. Nope, I don't think this one's going to open either. No. This is from the archives. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just like all up in y'all's stuff. Is it going to open? Herm. Yeah. Because this is the Florida case here. I don't see any more interviews. Those are controlled calls. I don't know if any of these will open up. We'll see. Nope, doesn't look like it. That's okay. We'll move on to this one. Move you guys over. And we'll start over here with some of the stuff I found. So this is EFTA 01860109. Data set 10. This is from 7/10/2011, July 10th and 11th of 2011. And it is from, oh, it doesn't say. But the email itself says, so on Sunday, July 10th, it was sent, blank is looking for a place to stay in the city. I told her my ex-boyfriend might be able to help. So obviously it's one of his ex-girlfriends. She also wants to work at MC2. I can send her over to meet you anytime. I think you might really like her. And it says, thanks, I'm not in the city until the 20th. If you want to put her up in the apartment till then, it's okay. And she wrote back, up to you. I have no preference. I just think she's a keeper for you. And it says, does she carry a highly contagious disease, flesh-eating bacteria, serial killer, psychosis, etc.? And then there's this one. This is EFTA 02332474, and it's going to be in data set 11. And this is from Ghislaine to a Simon Von Edwards. It looks like. It says, Dear G, just a belated note of thanks for a wonderful time in New York. It was great to escape the kids for a week. If I could only ditch the wife as well for the next visit. In other words, he probably wanted to, with somebody. Get y'all a little closer. There we go. Once again, your generosity was overwhelming. Great apartment, wonderful dinner, fantastic hair. The wife's not mine. And of course, Joseph. I don't know who Joseph is. If it wasn't for the kids, I think Katie and I would immigrate. It says, as a small token of my gratitude, I hope you will accept James Diggins, one of my junior consultants. I have attached a bad brochure photo, but he comes up a lot better in the flesh. He is bright, funny, and athletic. Of course, if you don't want him, please pass him to the beautiful Hannah. She has a degree in politics, which should be a comfort, as she was concerned about intellect. He will be in town the first week in April playing in a tournament at the Tennis and Rackets Club on Park. Perhaps a telephone interview in the first case would be appropriate. Once again, many thanks. I look forward to cashing in my rain check with Bill. I guess that's Bill Gates. I don't know. It says, P.S. Katie, traditional as ever, has written to you snail mail. I can only assume that James is there for, not consulting work. I would also guess that Joseph was a party to James and Katie's whatever. I'm not going to read this because it's 465 pages long, but I did find it in the files. Hold on. It's called A Manual of Peace, 38 Steps Towards Enlightened Living, and it talks about the perfection of the family unit and stuff. It is EFTA 011299103. I would encourage everybody to go take a look at it and just kind of peruse through it. It's some twisted shit. This was another import form. It was just bringing in medical notes regarding Epstein's, you know, then there was these. So this is what I found in today's search. And I want you to pay attention because her name is blocked out and they say flesh and bone. And I want you to pay attention to that. Yes, I did do a search on the word flesh. I want you to pay attention to that because then we're going to move on to some other stuff that's going to be kind of eerie whenever you think about that picture. This was an email from David Stern to Jeffrey Epstein on 11 November of 2011. It says, saw this walking past Christie's. The Sex Pistols, a rare band promotional poster, Young Flesh Required, The Great Rock and Roll Swindle, Virgin Records, 1979. And then he points out stuff, or the poster points out stuff. Here, hang on, let me move my head out of the way so y'all can see it. Do you see that? Oh no, I can't make it go away. They will tell me that I am being fake. There we go. Sorry. My head's kind of, my big old head's in the way. And then down here, it says Virgin Records. Let me see if I can zoom in a little for you guys. Yep, down here, see, it says Virgin Records. Young Flesh Required. It says The Great Rock and Roll Swindle, and it's got a bunch of other print on it. He got sent that multiple times over. At least that's what I saw. Then there's this. Let me move down here. Don't know who this is from, but it says Kundalini, Thursday, September 22nd, 2016. It says, meet me at class 9:30. So many hot girls promise. Hari NYC, 30 between 6 and 7. Do you know what that means? 30 girls between... It says, then we go to Macho, okay? And then it says, promise an abundant of young P flesh, love A. And then a picture. One can only assume that this part right here, let me see if it'll let me highlight it, means that they're 6 and 7 years old. So, yeah. This one says, I don't know who it's from. It says, oh, this is EFTA 0076435. And it's to Jeff on Saturday, January, or on the 30th of January, 2010. It says, I haven't heard anything more from RE agent, real estate agent yet. Don't forget to rent the documentary Food Inc. Sorry to be pro-seltzing, but I haven't eaten any sort of flesh and much less dairy in the last 2 months, and I feel great. I don't know if the flesh means human or not. I at this point, I don't even have an answer anymore. Just like this one, I don't know if, let's see, does Ambeni want fish? And then it says he's a vegetarian, no flesh of any kind. Again, I don't know if that's about food or a person. This one says, thanks for the invite to lunch. Sorry I won't be there. Nice to see you in the flesh. See if you can make your muscles look as meaty as this fine piece of thigh bone. And then there's a picture, I can only assume, of a victim. And it says, a little bit of ass to your workout. So I don't know anymore. This one has 57 pages. It is weird. It looks like she had some sort of stalker person or crazy person. This was written to Ghislaine when she was at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Give me 1 second. I'm going to wet my whistle and then we'll read these. Let me see if I can get it a little bit more centered for you. Oh. Okay, sorry, my little puzzle piece. Is that good? Do you need me to? There we go. Okay. Oh wow, we have 848 people in here. Can we get my clicks up to 60,000 before we hit 10 p.m.? If we have that many people, that would be so freaking awesome. Hello everybody. I go through the Epstein files every single day, usually twice a day. We do raw reviews and I do research into people that you would like me to research. You are welcome to follow me. Even if it's just for the period of time that I'm doing the Epstein review, you will not hurt my feelings if you decide to unfollow me after the Epstein review is over. I promise. If you would like to support my work, there is a link, but no pressure. You don't have to. Please be generous with the gifts, though, because we do use that money to buy things like food boxes for the needy and things like that, you know. Trying to do a little good. So welcome, everybody. Yay. Okay, so this is from a guy named David Grazette, or Grazette. He is apparently an inmate, too, from what I can gather. Yay, thank you, guys. He is apparently an inmate, too, from what I can gather. But he wrote her like a crap ton of really weird freaking messages. So let's just get into it. This is EFTA 01250093. And it is going to be in data set 9 for those of you who would like to follow along. I'm going to do my best to decipher what it says, but bear with me if I have to get like way up close like this to try and figure it out. Okay? Oh, wait, somebody tagged me. What was it? Oh, y'all lit up my gift gallery? All right, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, it says, hi, my name is David Grazette. I'm probably nobody to you. I am nobody to, and these were sent to Ghislaine, in case I forgot to say that. I'm nobody to a lot of people. You, to me, may be a very bad person. I don't know. I've never met you. But you are on your way to crucifixion, and you could probably use someone to talk to write to have visit. I want you to know I'm real. I have a case in the Southern District of New York, 20 CIV 0965. If anybody wants to look that up, it is right here. And I'll read it out again. It's 20 CIV 0965. And the last name is spelled Grazeette. It's probably from 2020, so y'all can go look it up. It says, I was apprehended at 30 Rockefeller Plaza on 9/25/2019 while looking for a man named Norman H. Zivin, just to ask questions, just to find answers. I'm sorry if I just scratched in all caps. I didn't mean to yell. I hope you're not offended, but I'm not sure if this is worth going back and using another sheet of paper. I just put on hold a book by H.P. Lovecraft called Something Thing on the Doorstep. Have you read it? I found it from reading another story, a story about a very old French who I suspect failed to read it due to hubris, and this hamartia caused a lot of grief. If you in fact read this, I've gone through a lot of trouble to find out how to reach you. I hope you allow me to help you. Allow me to help poor T. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. Blank. P.S. Please let me know exactly how you would like to be addressed, sir. And then something scribbled out. Maybe it's ma'am, Mr., Mrs., Mr., Ms., Mrs. You get the idea. And this is from New York. See, this shows that they're sending it to her in a detention center. It says, Miss Maxwell, is this your doing? Put God's in them. May they pray for a lifetime. Hold tight. I'll try for a P.O. box for you once I've returned from Baltimore. And feel free to show me a sign. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. 9. And then there's like this medical thing. And, Getz associate likely to strike a plea with prosecutors in ex-trafficking case. It's from Orlando. It says an associate of Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican Florida, who had been charged with ex-trafficking of a minor and was suspected of connecting the congressman to women with whom he could have is in plea negotiations to resolve the allegations against him, according to his lawyer and the prosecutor on the case. A potentially ominous sign for Getz if the associate ultimately cooperates with prosecutors in a bid for leniency. I won't read the whole thing. Here's another one to her. It says, hi, thank you so much, guys. It says, hi, I've been writing you by USPS. Have you received my letters? They're weird, I know. I've heard that a lot. I've heard that word my entire life. It's upsetting. It's upset. Hold on. I struggle to read his stuff. It's upset my often, but I'm starting to familiarize myself with the half of the world I didn't realize I missed. The temperature dropped today or last night. Do you feel it where you're at? Where I'm at, I'm also watching many, many studio cameras against the sidewalks. None of the folks in the crew that I spoke to this morning seem to know Dionysus. Yet, there they were, willing to do the work. I pray that you're safe. I pray that you're sound. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. Hey, Boogie. Thank you so much. And this, what is this picture? Oh, that's his picture, I think. Weird dude. This one, they don't have dates on them, really. Let's see. It says, good day. The weather is warm again, and the cameras are gone. I'd be weird to think that the two went hand in hand, LOL. This is at one of the many lethal chambers throughout the city that I'm acquainting myself with. I have to say, I've lived a life of complete ignorance, such ignorance. I was banished many a times through myself and didn't... What? I was banished many a times through myself and didn't even know my only option was to either become Caesar or die. I need your help, and I want to help you. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. Kraken. And then there's another picture of him. Here's another one he wrote. It says pending. Pending. I guess they didn't scan it in. Hadn't been approved yet. And then he sent her this book. Pages from this book. I don't know the book. I haven't searched it yet. I'm going to. Like 240, 238, 39. So they go in order. And then let's see. Another one that he wrote, April 22nd, 2021. It says, there are horrors beyond life's edge that we do not suspect nor expect. And once in a while, man's praying calls them with our range, the thing on the doorstep. Weirdo. At least he's, self-actualizing. April 27th of 2021, it says The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. It says, Ghislaine, I obviously tried to participate, not hating. In fact, I believe one will do more damage to thy enemies by removing hate from the emotional spectrum. I digress. I do not like hearing native New Yorker. Quote, I am not sure where you're from. I think that's, I really don't know much about you even. I mean, I know your name, but even still find myself starting with Maxwell and not Ghislaine. To be more honest, I may be spelling it wrong. No, you're spelling it right. Ghislaine. This is the first time I write to you without turning to a research to address you. I bet you get a lot of mail from hateful folks / folks, FOLX. I don't know. That's why I'm here. This letter is there. This letter is there, and I'm trying so hard to get your attention. I don't know. I mean, I obviously have my own agenda, but I'm not going to say. I pray, however, withstanding, if you decide to let me in to do whatever I can to fix or forgive, repair, you move you past whatever threshold you need. I speak friend no matter what you've done or and how recent. Do you have access to a library? Are you well? Are you okay? Are you all right? Do you need anything? Is there anything I can do for you? Are you safe? Is there anyone you require to hear from, require to see? I am not a cop. I am not a reporter, journalist, or getting paid in any way to reach out to you. My hands are clean, and they will say that way. Is that supposed to be stay? From what other people are saying, you need an ace, a rabbit in the hole. Oh, you need an ace, a rabbit in the hole. Please let me make sure. Let me make sure your lawyers aren't you last opportunity. Help me take out the trash. Please help me. Please help me open the chambers. Let's allow the world to reconnect itself. I want to help you move on, no matter the direction, in peace with integrity. Your Kraken, the White Rabbit. They're QAnon. What? Do y'all see that? Do you want me to zoom in? Just to be sure. Does that say QAnon? I don't know what that means, Smile. But I'm pretty sure they were screaming that QAnon was a liberal hoax, right? Or something, or that they were liberal or something like that. It says, this is for you and only you, and then it blocks this part out. They redacted that part. Let me zoom in so y'all can see this. This is another letter, I guess, from him. Yep, it says, after I sent my most recent letter, fireworks went off that seemed to put the folks in charge of the sirens in a bit of a kerfuffle. Weird, LOL. I thoroughly enjoy fireworks, especially citizen-used fireworks. I can see the dynamics of Brooklyn are changing. When the pandemic first hit, I was paying a tax every time I left the grocery store. Now I watch buzzards trying to pick fights with soda vendors as they tirelessly try to take in their deliveries. NYPD are spending more time around the MTA gates, but they do appear to be friendlier. Yoga studios are turning into bodegas. So many new bodegas, which means new neighbors. It's weird to think the matrix is so tightly locked that a landlord can almost account for the money to be had just from the promise of one's presence. A previous friend once told me a story once about two men that were standing around a store who practically fought each other to help her reach to the top shelf item. And the instant I heard the story, I recognized one of my biggest struggles adjusting to this city. Please allow me to digress, but I did send you 2 patches. I don't know what that means. Asked you to pick one and send the other back. I hope if you were not able to take it with you at the moment, they would allow you to put it with your personal belongings upon release. There is more space in Chicago. People here in New York City used to rub against each other like they have magnets in their pockets. I used to argue with an ex about whether it was normal. Let me just say that ex is no longer around. So you're hitting on her too? Not that it matters. I am forbidden to be in love and forbidden to marry unless to a princess. But even then, still forbidden to be attached. So you're going to marry somebody that you don't love? Or you're gonna marry somebody that you can't be attached to? What? It says a Jedi without a master. Not that I would willingly join the Jedi Order. They will be the first to shut the libraries and force one into retirement. The Jedi Council lies. Do you think this is a dude that lives in his mom's basement? No, it's from somebody named David Gazette. I have to wonder if this is a dude that like spends all of his time in his mom's basement playing Star Wars games. No offense, Tanya. I know, Tanya, I know you're really good at it. I'm so sorry. I love you. I love you so much. It says, my window is out to the east, and I can see the sun setting against the project buildings across the street. It is a beautiful orange and red hue reflecting off red and brown brick. I almost want to step away from my computer to see, but there is something about sacrificing the view for this attempt to contact you. I guess if it means more to me, then it will matter. I almost got lost in such thoughts. However, Athena has done a very good job in giving me just enough encouragement to keep me on the path. Who the fuck is Athena? Are you talking about the goddess Athena? I still need help. I am constantly asking Athena for help. I think he does. I think he means all of the goddesses. Because he says, turning to Minerva to guidance. I'm most definitely heading to a fork in the road and have no idea. Thank you so much. And have no idea where either turn. For me, it has always been difficult to ask for help. Asking for help just makes me revert back to the same of being raised by a single mother and the shame of understanding that we require HOC in order to make ends meet. Walking home with your groceries in New York City is one thing, but in Montgomery County, Maryland, thank you. I know what you're probably saying. I understand. It's not healthy. I understand. With standing, I still don't know which I would pick, New York City or Chicago. Maybe I need time in another foreign place to accurately reflect. No matter, I am but a fool who is at the mercy of the universe. No matter, the sun is set and I have tea. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. White Rabbit. This is like his third name that he's given himself. Do we have a date on this one? Perchance? 19 April 2021. Wait, that says it was sent from West Palm Beach. Doesn't it? Maybe they forwarded it. I don't know. And this looks like it's some sort of a picture of a fountain. And then another one. And whatever that walkway is. I can't tell. And then this is another one from him. Oh, it says pending. Okay, here we go. Do we have a date for this one? 30 April 2021. It says, Ghislaine, I have read that you want to fight. I hope that fighting isn't to have your lawyers complain about your living conditions. They don't care. Moreover, they enjoy reading, hearing, and thinking about unsatisfactory conditions. Let me fight for you. I can't say that word. Do y'all see it? Do I need to move my finger and use my little pointy stick? A pipe and then... Figuratively speaking, reviewer, he didn't want to get arrested. Your lawyers releasing information talking to the bullshit mainstream media isn't going to do a thing. Use me to swing the pendulum. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. This time he didn't sign it anything. This one is 5/3 of 2021. Says Ghislaine, Merry Easter, praise to Athena. I was able to manage myself onto your legal appointment calendar for this morning at 8 a.m. I was rudely turned away. The place is a dump. He tried to get into the jail as a legal person to talk to her. I think this dude might be a stalker. The place is a dump. There are people who want to help, but the brute strength seems to be mismanaging the operation. I sent a letter, another letter. besides this one, ha! Ha! We have the same judge. I'm working with a magistrate right now, but I have to admit I was slightly tickled. Quote, you have a black eye, try to put a smile on. Quote, did you say that? Did you say that or them? I don't look at your docket too much, but I say 2 hard drives. Do you have a desktop in that box? During my capture, I can recall it my mental health suffering so much that it was harder to write than ever, and all I had was time. My point is, you didn't write or sign for that request. I understand I may be a man without a title, or at least knowledge of such a title declaring honor or honor, but I doubt your lawyers hold any titles or guidance counselor didn't write up prior to a board of admissions. Dare I write counselor again? The Jedi Order is lies. The Jedi Council is a shame. Break the chain. Look up. Walk backwards. Be well. And then a dead-eyed smiley face. It could be Jess. I don't know. May 10th. But he wrote it May 4th. Okay. It says, Madam, I've addressed my last few letters, possibly more, Ghislaine. Do you even go by that? A guard to me there are multiple, I think it's supposed to say a guard told me there are multiple Maxwells at the Metropolitan Detention Center. This guard appeared more familiar with the other. No matter, they appear to be idiots, most definitely lazy. Diplomacy seems to exist in a low form or massive form of physical force. Maybe true at all federal prisons. I wouldn't know. Since Athena found me, I've woken each morning much more aware of my ignorance. I see prison, so space evil should turn to pay rent to flee foreign crimes. Let me try that again. I see prison, a ghost space, evil should turn to dash pay rent to flee foreign crimes. I'm not sure what that means. And that could be exactly what's going on. You could have 2 of the biggest henchmen I've ever seen. If that's true, have your bodyguards doing more cardio. Would be a shame if caught at a chamber with an open field. What is a chamber? Do we have any, Tanya, are you in here? Do we have any gamers or anything like that? I'm so sorry, I almost said computer nerds. Do we have any gamers in here that know what he's talking about? Because I've watched Star Wars and I'm really confused. Miles, what does he mean when he says it would be a shame if caught at a chamber with an open field? He keeps talking about Jedis and Jedi Knights. Is that something to do with, like, the Star Wars games? Oh, an open field of view. Oh, I get it now. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I was so confused. I look forward to hearing from your lawyer or the judge. Bobby, Nathan, I would like to meet you. I would like to make sure you're healthy. I would like to make sure you're well. I would like to bring you small delights, coffee, tea. I'm sure you have family and friends that can and will do just that, which may be exactly why you and I, maintaining a relationship could be healthy and beneficial to you. We are neither. Look up, walk backwards, and be well. And then he signed it with his real name. This one looks like it's from May 7th of 21. It's the last one. It says, Ghislaine, Mary, hashtag Revenge of the 4th, dash, I don't know, new hashtag for Star Wars to extend May the 4th. I really like it. Makes me thinking of the Imperial Army and the Sith, the ones who sacrifice everything for growth, development, and supremacy in the pure name of supremacy. For Caesar. I was writing you by hand this morning in between waking up and running 4 miles, 4:45-ish. The sun hadn't hit the horizon yet, still chilly, beautiful. It's really becoming my favorite time of day, but this morning wasn't my favorite type of writing. What came out was trash. I'll sheared it. It says sheared it, but I think it means shred it. All the same, I was thinking of you, praying for serenity as I do now. I witnessed what appeared to be a homeless man on the subway a couple of days ago, either attempting to trigger a kerfuffle or crying for help. I'm not sure which, but I'm almost certain there are fewer and fewer of those people left, you know? People willing to fight for nothing. He did seem to have a few missing teeth. But if it were someone really not afraid, quote, not afraid to a man, it was most likely a spook of some sort. But the idea incepted. If you have a chance, pick up the newest Hunger Game. If you haven't read the series, you can start with it. It's the Hobbit of the trilogy. And if you do, I also recommend listening to Brandi Carlile's album, The Fire Watcher's Daughter. But don't start the album into your routine until you're like 33% of the way through the book. Look up, walk backwards, be well. I mean, just a little weird, right? And then I found this. Betty Jo, if you're in here, I'm going to give it just a moment. This may be triggering for you, sweetheart, if you want to step out. Because it discusses Leon Black and everything else. And I know that was all kind of connected with, like, Brunel and everything. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward. Trigger warning. This is going to be EFTA 02731488. There's no from or to, but it says notes trafficking 52623 Leon Black call with Janine Christensen Esquire. It says May 26th of 2023 call with Janine Christensen Wigdor LLP referral. Leon Black, Wall Street person, 72 or 71 years old now, founded largest private equity global fund that exists today that's publicly traded. One of Epstein's friends, very powerful. It says 7 to 8 years. Black was actually violent with her. This is victim's name. Black bites parts of her lower front area, her vajayjay. Violence was arousing for him, very painful for her. JC represents victim for civil defamation, not ex-abuse case. Went to USAO in Manhattan, May or June of 2021. JC doesn't represent her anymore. Next victim. Got a call from victim woman who said that she heard about lawsuit against Black. Victim said Black raped her around 20 years ago, 2001 or 2002, in Epstein's townhouse. Victim described it, felt pain, like insertion of something sharp in her kitty. On massage table with her head on the floor and legs on her shoulders, excruciating. Spoke with blank at Manhattan DA's office, blank at DA's office. Substance abuse problems in 90s, preyed on by Epstein. Gave massages to Epstein and Black for money. Lives in blank now. Abuse happened in New York. Another victim. Minor victim at Epstein's townhouse was told to give Leon Black a massage. Violently raped by Black. 16 years old when raped by Black. A bunch of stuff is redacted. Biological mother is blank and biological father is blank, both alive. More redactions. Says has lived with them since 2012 when attending blank, where blank was a counselor in charge of students with blank. Black used adult X toy on victim's back and front lower side. Victim felt severe pinching in her front and began bleeding from her back. Black and others at Epstein's house would not take her to the doctor and instead flew her out of New York the next day. Victim did not go back to New York after that. Next few years was in Palm Beach or U.S. Virgin Islands, so they flew her out of there and took her to one of his other properties. It says driven from blank to Epstein's townhouse to meet Epstein's special friend named Leon Black, brought to Manhattan townhouse. While she has always known the name Black, she did not participate in Epstein's case or fund. Epstein and Black used to talk about the victim and described her as being 10. They knew about her blank. From 2001 to the end of 2004, she was trafficked by blank, ex with at least 25 different men. Blank, and she lists men. She lists men. Why have we not arrested these men? Blank works in IT, 5 different last names, tech experience. Blank date of birth, last 4 social art. Blank current address since October 21st. Blank is a teacher of blank, team, victim, then blank. Blank. Blank had sex with, or had ex with men in front of victim. Blank handed victim off to Maxwell and Epstein. Victim had to sleep in their bed with them. U.S. Virgin Islands in late 2020 and early 2021. Officials were trying to interview underage girls who had been on the island. Victim was interviewed, participated in or around 2 meetings with a lawyer. Victim viewed Maxwell as a mother figure, but describes things she did as mean. Believes that there were some men that Epstein wanted her to go to with, or that wanted her to go with, and Maxwell said no. Blank years old now, lives blank, has high school attendance records, absent constantly Fridays and Mondays, medical records, trauma from SA, rectal tearing, references to violent rape. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what this is. New York inventory by location. This looks like, who is this for? Escort bag 4. There was a pew pew in it. Escort bag 5. Oh, I guess these are the people escorting her from one location to another, maybe, or maybe Epstein. This has 1,000 pages in it. What is this? Special house. Oh, it's his housing unit record. All the stuff that they falsified. We'll have to go through that later. I'll pull it off to the side. Let's see. That's not going to be anything. Thank you so much, Laughing. This says Donald is smelling the burning flesh. What is this? Oh, these are more of the iMessages. Is that close enough? Can you guys see it? If I do that, is it too big? Let me move my little head, my fat little head. Is that better? Let's see. It says Chris to his close friend. That's all I know. Just got confirmed from Rudy. Christie out. I'm behind Meadows. He is officially out. Javanka scalp. And then it says Donald is smelling the burning flesh in the distance. No telling what he will do. It says, are you sure about that? Seems oblivious. He's talking to people he hasn't spoken to in years. He's talking to, let's see, really because of fear. It says needs lieutenants. And then weird. And then it says, I've been sitting, satting that you can't join as you are not rich enough to have 3 outside lawyers for the next 4 years. It says Campaign Plus, I got insurance. That's least of my worries. On campaign, I had total power. In White House, maybe 25%. Would only do the dictatorial power on fighting impeachment, and he will never give. Only way he survives. Better for movement for me outside unless assured a win. And says, sorry, that is what I told people he asked. It says, not regarding you. And then there's something about Trump eyes Bannon ally as chief of staff. And then it says, this is how they are going to fuck Bossy. I don't know what that means. It says, can we talk later today? I have stuff going on for the next 2 hours or so. That was from Lawrence Krauss. Oh, I'm sorry. This is EFTA 00782755 in data set 9. You can find a lot of these messages if you just search iMessage in the search field of the DOJ site. It says tomorrow better. And it says, okay, I have calls at 9 a.m. Pacific and 10 a.m., but free after that or before that. Take care. And then it says, okay. And then another one that's blocked out says, did you watch the video that came along with it? Funny. Don't know what that's about. It says they will notify him by 10 p.m. London time. And then question marks. And it says the Political Wire article lower right contains a video. Oh. It says, just saw, can't believe folks put that kind of time in. And then more pictures and stuff. It says Dubbin Gala. I don't know what the Dubbin Gala is. And then some more yeses. And then a New York Times article. Yemen-Saudi war, Pompeo, Mateus. More pictures. It says, we'll be in St. Bart this weekend. If you're in the island, come say hi. And that was sent from Benny to Epstein. And then some stuff. Oh, a phone number is blanked out. And then Taraj has a bunch of, and okay, here we go. Let's see. It says, federal prosecutors are investigating whether U.S. President Donald Trump's inaugural committee misspent some of the funds it raised. The Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday, citing people familiar with the matter. The probe, opened by a Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, is examining whether some of the committee's donors gave money in exchange for policy concessions, influencing administrative. When is this? 2018. Okay, so his first term. Influencing administration positions or access to the incoming administration, the Journal said. And then it just has the Wall Street Journal article. Let's see. And then this one says, I think Rick Gates finally served up Tom Barack. And then it says, Stephene 25M Winston. Not sure what that means. Melanie's wingman. It ain't spending. It's the raising. It ain't the spending. It's the raising. It says, I'm very aware. Gates had to serve up someone no bigger than Barack. Drop. HuffPo reporting Jared interviewing for COS. Please call Mona and tell her it will be fixed. 3 times voicemail. I will keep at it. Thanks. And then that's it. Let's see. Time given, stature advisors, King Abdullah, whatever, pound of flesh. That's not anything. That's the same thing we just looked at. Should I flesh it out and look for more formal? That's just work. More of the David Stern Sex Pistol. Oh my gosh. Religious quotes from the Bible. Okay, let's go to page 11. Flesh this out. Let's see. That's another. For the poster, to flesh out the guidelines, English flesh eating. Wait, what? Partners with Driscoll Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Symptoms also cause life-threatening. University and children starting in autumn 2014. The English flesh eating. What is this? Oh, it's one of those article digest things again. Let's see. Facilitate popular. Nope. More posters. The word flesh appears 292 times in what they still have up. And it looks like that's going to be... What is this? Mandatory quarterly shoe training. Oh, okay. This was their training material. So this was part of the investigation. They requested all of their policies and procedures. Could we get it to 200K by 11? We have 1,000 people in here. That would be like so cool. I'd be so stoked. Let's see. When you take away flesh from a piece of food or vegetable, whether it's extracting it, No. Escaped mermaid, but as she approaches, you sense only the screaming instinct inside her, and you can smell her burn. What? Oh, okay. More just articles. Almost daily, I can flume the flesh of sentient beings. Benghazi, okay. I don't know why they have all these articles in here. In the myth, flesh and bone individuals are flawed approximations. The ideal, they could be pernicious. I'm sure I know the word. I just don't recognize it. Leading children. Let's see. Martin, I left a brief phone message, but we'll flesh this out. Always wanted a partner to do the count and wouldn't do count without a partner. Advised while doing the counts, an officer would see breathing flesh counts. Okay, that's more of the prison stuff. Let's see. Refused to be a filter made of human flesh, he wrote. Oh, Chinese microblogging website. Zombie apocalypse. Survival course with flesh-hungry zombies. What the hell is this? To blank from Doran Orifir Casting on behalf of Doran OFIR Casting. I'm not really sure what that is. My childhood dream comes to life when I finally joined my partner Stanley and Regina Carpinelli at the Stanley's. Oh, it's a like a Comic-Con type thing. Event maybe. Nope. I suppose between the crease. What is this? Between Peggy Segal and Jeffrey Epstein, EFTA 01051971. That's too big, sorry. We'll start down here. It says, okay, we have movement. I just went to Dr. Jerry Ember for a consultation. He is giving me a brow lift for a birthday present. It's to lift a tiny, tiny bit of extra flesh between the crease of my eyelid fold and the bottom of my eyebrow. With that expenditure out of the way, here's my next idea, all within the budget. 1, to have lunch for all of my media girlfriends and the top doctors who are responsible for the celebration of preservation. Jerry will come and speak. I can ask Dr. Janet Pyrtowski, a very serious, respected skin doctor. She actually specializes in skin cancer, but does all the beauty tricks, and the dentist. Dr. Mark Lowenberg, he does the veneers to all of the stars and is the best. I might throw in the anti-aging doctor with his powdered protein drinks. And maybe handsome Israeli Dr. Ilion Baum, the chiropractor. That's more than enough. They could all say a few words or just be available to go from table to table for consultations. I will update the How to Look Like Me at 70 booklet. Then I can do a smaller dinner, 100 for my close friends. I know I have 100,000. I could do split the budget for 2. That's one idea. I also got calls from Blaine Trump. Who is Blaine Trump? Do we know a Blaine Trump? Anyone? Chat? Coded? Nope. You're right. It could be coded. It could be Donald. Jessica de Rothschild, Amanda Foreman, and Margot Niederlander. About hosting a lunch. They will all kick in. I have to get back to Four Seasons and see what they will come down to. L.A. Grunol, will give me dinner for 100 for 50,000 all in. Charles Manson Mason. Woo! Charles Mason just opened a beautiful new restaurant where a steakhouse was on East 63rd between Madison and Park. Only holds 70, but they would love anything. Calling the Four Seasons today. Isn't that great about the free brow lift? XOXO Peggy. I don't know who Peggy is. And then she wrote, need to talk to you. Just had dinner with Fryal. She has some good ideas. I should do it September 14th after Labor Day when NYC is hopping. End of May is too soon. A few girls want to host. Furl, Jessica Rothschild, Amanda Foreman. I can ask Julia Koch. Koch from the Koch brothers. I can ask Julia Koch and Annabelle Astor and Kathy Rayner. I should do one dinner for 150 to 200 people at a cool place. I should send a save the date out in the next month so people can travel, i.e. Europe or LA. Just make it one cool dinner, can celebrate preservation, and Jerry Ember can still make a toast. And I can still update the booklet. How to look like me at 70. When I call you, Peg, I don't want to ask the girls for money, but like the idea of hosts. And then Jeffrey wrote back, now. That was a lot for him to respond with one freaking word. Okay, that's nothing. Let's see, refuse to be. Yeah, we've already seen that one. We just read that one. 14. Okay, that's more of the Shining. I make sure I love him because normally inmates. Okay, that's more of the jail. That's more of the jail. The human organism, I'm telling you, let's see, Genesis 6 verse, the Lord said, let my spirit not quarrel forever. I gotta know. Was he like praying back and forth with people? Oh, we don't know who these people are. Just checking in on you, dealing with hurricane devastation, list of smart people. Ugh, I'm sorry. I know it's tough. And bet everyone asking you for stuff. Haven't put together a list of people writing all these reports for BG. Okay. Are you in NYC at all this week? Yes, Wednesday to Saturday. Can I come see you Wednesday? I leave at 5:50 p.m. back to Seattle. Meet BG on Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. Friday 29th. Of course. Okay, we'll coordinate. He's being so mean. Sorry. See you soon. Thank you for time and pizza. Met this guy, Peter Muller, Quant Hedge Fund, and I like him, very, very smart. Mary Erdo says hi. Give her a hug. She sends her love and says not to be a stranger. I told her we met through Trump. She didn't believe me. People and paper can handle 7 doubling S weird. Very weird. The cellular number is 504. Okay, so cellular census science is the phenomenon in which normal diploid cells cease to divide. In culture, fibroblasts can reach a maximum. I don't know. The number is 120 years for the human organism. I'm telling you. Is this Musk? This sounds like Musk, doesn't it? Let's see, Genesis 6, verse 3, the Lord said, let my spirit not quarrel forever concerning man, because he is also flesh, and his days shall be 120 years. Best case, 120. This has to be Musk. By the way, this is super cool. DNA surgery. This has to be Musk. This has to be. Larry will join my meeting tomorrow afternoon with BG. I guess that's Bill Gates. At the BGC3 office. Yeah, that's got to be Bill Gates. Larry also invited 2 junior staffers. I'm guessing Larry is, what's his fuck? I can't think of his last name now. Larry will not join and is not aware of other meetings. Thank you so much. But he's starting to really get annoying. Are there any signals I can send or words I can use to let him and BG know I'm not messing around? Any words I can use with Larry directly or with him and BG? And it says with BG, all you have to say is you should know that I've told Jeffrey everything. So obviously this must be Elon Musk and Jeffrey Epstein, and why they would block those names out. I would really like to fucking know. But let's go ahead and read that one again. It says with BG, all you have to say is that you should know that I've told Jeffrey everything. It says, I'm worried he will immediately retaliate against me. It says, you can also say, I also like blue dresses. What is it with the blue dresses? I also like blue dresses. I think I have Stockholm Syndrome. Steve just bought a gross 144 items of his favorite t-shirt because he thinks they will stop making them. But he can't wear them because they will stop making them. Is Steve supposed to be like Steve Jobs or something? When did Steve Jobs die? I don't remember. This is from 9/23 of 2017. Clinton was in a blue dress. And Monica Lewinsky's dress was blue as well. Which, when I saw the Clinton blue dress painting, I thought of Monica Lewinsky. I did not think. They originally came out and said that it was representative of Hillary's blue dress. But the way he was sitting there and he was like, oh, I think it was representative of Monica's blue dress. Maybe Steve Bannon could be. Could be. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't figure. Also, please think hard about the compromising solution that would allow ASU to get a pound of flesh from you while not ending your career forever. Don't know what that is. Martin, I left a brief phone message, but we'll flesh this out. Let's go ahead and open this one. I want to know. Oh, it's probably not going to... Is it going to open it? Yes. Okay. Lawrence Krauss and Jeffrey Epstein. Looks like it was September 26th of 2018 was the last one. It starts down here. It says... See... Somebody from Justin Dillon, Kaiser Dillon, and PLLC must be an attorney or something along those lines. Because PLLC is counsel. Hi, Justin. I paid the bill this morning as promised. No need to talk tomorrow as we had planned. I heard from my mole on the committee. Dean is quite sympathetic. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. Sorry. And there we go. Where were we? Dean is quite sympathetic and committee just wants to talk to me about possible options that I'm interested in that might be middle ground. I think these are things I need to think about myself and talk to Nancy, etc., but wouldn't require advising from you at this time. I know you have already indicated the option you liked, and I know that, but based on my conversation with my mole, that wouldn't fly anyways, and it is not what I wanted. Agreed, depending on what happens Friday, and then in the next meeting I will have with the committee and the dean, we can see what legal negotiations may be required. If you remember yesterday, we looked at some stuff from Professor Lawrence Krauss that he had multiple allegations against him for stuff. And so I'm guessing this is part of it. And then from Justin's response, it says, I saw the payments. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to hear that the dean is sympathetic. That's great. And as to prepping, totally your call. If you don't think it would help, then I totally understand you're not wanting to do it or to pay for it. Just remember to be really, really nice and gracious. You need to let people be able to retreat with honor in some way. Admit, as I recall, we did in the conclusion that you've learned valuable lessons about power dynamics, the limits of open communication, and so on. You didn't touch anyone and would never do that, but you have gained a lot of insight into the changing mores, etc. So he's coaching him on how to get out of being in trouble with the essays that he committed on students at the ASU website. It says, also, please think hard about a compromise solution that would allow ASU to get a pound of flesh from you while not ending your career forever. In other words, ASU wants to be able to look like they stood strong on this. It says, I think a 1-year suspension without pay beats the hell out of where you are right now. Would I lead with that? Of course not. But if you're really getting pressed, I think it's a viable alternative to getting fired. Finally, you should obviously feel free to call me during the meeting if you want to run anything by me. Good luck and let me know how it goes. And then he wrote back, I canceled my planned call for Justin tomorrow. Here's the email, FYI. Please write a press release that you would ideally like the university to author. Thank you so much, Dulce, or Dulce. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I want to be really respectful, so I'm just going to call you D. Thank you. And then above that, it says, I was indeed thinking of that when walking the dog. Glad we are on the same wavelength. I also thought of the advantage of emeritus after retiring. I could keep my office and have an assistant and even be part of the sponsored research grant. So he wants to stay around the young kids is what he wants to do. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Cherry Ball. Let's see, flesh it out. Let's see, breathing flesh. That's more of the jail. That's more just fleshing out. I guess they removed all the ones talking about them eating flesh. Because that's what I was really looking for. We'll flesh this out. Deutsche Bank. Having to flesh. Let's see. Court victims' attention and legal issues that could be resolved on. Let me see what this says. Let's see. Okay, this is titled Proposed Schedule to Resolve CVRA Case Within 12 Months. Again, that's the Crime Victims' Rights Act. It was the case that was filed after Epstein got that sweetheart plea agreement that was filed by the victims because they felt like they were robbed of their day in court, which they were, and he should have never gotten that agreement. Ever. So let's start at the bottom. Let me zoom in so you can see it. There we go. This is from Paul Castle, and it was sent to somebody and CC'd Brad Edwards. It says, please forward to Mr. Ferrer this letter about Reinhardt. Oh, it's a little bit. There we go. Okay. It says, blank, I was mailing the attached letter to Mr. Ferrer via regular mail, but it occurred to me it might be faster if I also emailed it to you in the hope that you could then email it along to him. The letter requests an investigation of Bruce Reinhardt's false statement. The letter also mentions that we have requested information from you about Reinhardt's false statement, but so far we haven't been provided any such information. You will see that point on page 3 of the letter, which is a reference to an email I sent you. Letter. Please feel free. Please feel free to look at that sentence and let me know if that posture changes. I assume that you aren't going to provide any more information about Reinhardt, but obviously hope that I am wrong about that. In any event, thanks in advance for your help in forwarding this along to Mr. Ferrer. Sincerely, Paul Castle for Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2. And then it goes on. It blocks a bunch of stuff out. Oh, it blocks out the information. It's just the safety catch. Okay, and then from Paul to Brad Edwards again. Oh, I'm sorry. This is EFTA 00209764. and it is in data set 9. It says, can you confirm that you received the email below and attached letter from me? Can you also confirm that you received an email from me? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. See, now, if y'all hadn't seen me choke myself on camera, y'all would have sworn that I was over here elevating. Let's see. It says, asking whether you volunteered to provide information about the Reinhardt situation. I didn't get any acknowledgement from you, which is unusual. Just want to confirm that I sent those 2 emails to the correct email address. Thanks, Paul. And then they wrote back, it says, Paul, I forwarded your letter regarding Bruce Reinhardt to the U.S. Attorney on March 3rd, 2014, the day it was received. We determined your request was not a matter our office should handle. As you anticipated in the last paragraph of your March 3rd letter. Accordingly, your letter was forwarded to the General Counsel's Office, Executive Office for the U.S. Attorneys, for a decision on what office your request should be referred. I also received your previous email regarding whether or not we would voluntarily provide you with the confidential non-public information learned by former blank. We will not. Because they don't want them to know. They don't want to give any information in these civil cases or anything else that would allow these victims to flesh out what really happened and provide that. They don't want these people to go to jail. They don't want these people to be held accountable for what they did. At all. And everybody is in on it. Look at what happened today whenever they got to see the unredacted files. Jamie Raskin is the one who came out and was like, oh, Epstein lied because he said that he had kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. And here it says he was never, a member of Mar-a-Lago, but he was a guest and he was never kicked out. Who gives a fuck? You had the opportunity to get all of those fucking names, to go prosecute those people. And what did you do? You walked in there with your need to search somebody that you can't even throw in prison right now. What about the rest of them? Put them in jail. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. It's, Paul writes back, thanks for the update. We look forward to hearing from EO USA. As mentioned on the phone, Brad and I may be in touch with you soon about a schedule that would bring the case to a conclusion within the next 12 months or so, which would allow our clients to make a presentation to the appropriate prosecutors about indicting Epstein, should we be fortunate enough to prevail on our argument for invalidating the NPA before the expiration of any applicable statute of limitations. We'd ask you to think about such a schedule that would work well from your perspective. Thanks again for the acknowledgement, Paul. And then he wrote back and he said, this email is from, or I guess he forwarded it, maybe it says, this email is from Castle suggesting that the parties might propose a schedule to Judge Mara to resolve the case within the next 12 months, since they believe the statute of limitations will expire by the end of that period. The court has already acknowledged that it cannot order the government to prosecute Epstein. Even if the court finds the I'm sorry, that was gross. I apologize. Even if the court finds the non-prosecution agreement was invalid because the CVRA had been violated and sets it aside, the government still has the unfettered discretion to determine the appropriate action in the Epstein criminal case. And for the love of God, the only reason they tried to prosecute him is because of how much the public came out and was like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? If we hadn't fucking crashed out all over them, they would have never fucking prosecuted him. Moving on. If we don't agree to some proposed schedule, Castle will again use that to argue how unreasonable the government is. Because it is! I think the appropriate course would be to advise the court the government will adhere to any reasonable time limits set by the court so we don't appear to be dragging our feet on purpose. Because you were! Because you never planned on doing shit to him. It wasn't until the public fucking flipped their gourds that you decided to do some shit. Perhaps this could be the vehicle where we focus the court and the victim's attention on the legal issues that can be resolved on agreed facts without having to flesh out all of the irrelevant points Castle wants to address, regardless of the fact that they do not advance his client's legal claims. In other words, if we're going to compress the schedule, then the issues, thank you so much, then the issues need to be narrowed for resolution. I think we need to make clear to the court that doing everything that Castle would like in a compressed time frame would not constitute a reasonable schedule. In other words, you're looking for another way to fucking avoid holding that man accountable. This is in 2014, y'all. 3 more fucking years that he was allowed to victimize people. 3 more fucking years before they started looking into it again. Thank you, Cherry. 3 more fucking years. Let's just do some math. That is a range of 3 to 5 girls a day. So let's just say 4. We'll take a happy fucking medium. Times 365 times 36. That's 52,000 victims. Or various people being victimized 52,000 times. 52,000 times. Because by their own testimony in these files, he needed to abuse at least 3 to 4 to 5 girls a day. And that's just him. That's not even including all the other people that were abusing these girls in his stupid little fucking scheme. Because they don't fucking care about us. Because they don't fucking care about the children. Because they don't fucking care what they are doing to people and the hell that they have to live through. I am a survivor myself. I live in a prison built in my own head. Thank you. They don't fucking care. And I gotta quit screaming. I'm waking up my little girl. I'm sorry. We're at 11:02. We are at 244,000. We have 931 people in here. If we could get that up to 250,000 before we shut down for the night, that would be amazing. Let me just make a couple of announcements while we get there. I go live every single day. I try to go live twice a day, usually once in the morning to early afternoon for those who are on the West Coast, and then again in the evening for those who are on the East Coast, West Coast, and maybe in other countries. So if you want to know when we are going live for the Epstein files review, you can smash that follow button and you'll get notified when I'm live and you'll be able to see it in your thing. Gifts are awesome. I truly appreciate them. If you would like to support my work, there are pay apps in my bio that would allow you to contribute to my work. As I do all of these reviews, I am an independent person trying to review all of these files and bring you the information that is going to be most important to the public. So if you would, but no pressure, you don't have to, like, if you want to, you can. Please remember that we also have rebroadcasts of our live Epstein reviews that are over on my YT. You can find that in my bio as well, the Tube of You. And it's the same, it's going to be the same address that you have here, the Bunny Be Funny with no periods. And subscribe to that channel and you can see the rebroadcast there. I am working on getting those uploaded right now. A huge shout out to our mods. They did an amazing job tonight. Truly appreciate you guys. Huge shout out to everybody. You got us up to 260,000. You're amazing. Thank you so much for all of the gifts and lighting up my gift galleries. Thank you for letting me crash out with you guys. I appreciate it. I try really hard not to. I try to keep this a really safe and somber space, but it's just, you can only read so much before the anger just bubbles over, you know? It's just too much. And we're now starting to get into the weeds of the really bad stuff. Like, what the fuck? I'm so fucking angry with Congress right now. I cannot fucking believe for the life of me that they had access to those unredacted files and their concern was trying to figure out how to fucking hang up Trump when you can't even put him in prison right now. Unless you're willing to impeach him and remove him, you cannot even put him in prison. But there are a ton of people, 90% of the 1%, walking around who participated in this nastiness, in these horrors against these people, and they get off scot-free? Absolutely not. Go get their names and start prosecuting them. I don't give a shit if Amazon has to find a new CEO. I don't give a fuck if a whole bunch of lawyers end up having to shuffle their clients off to somebody else because they were in the fucking files. I don't fucking care. Go get the British royalty. I don't fucking care. Put them all under the fucking jail. I don't fucking care. Let our fucking economy crumble. It's not an economy worth having if it's being led by people who do this shit. It's so fucking disgusting. And I fucking can't. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me tonight as I crashed out. I'm going to go elevate and see if I can relax a little bit. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'm hoping to go live around 10 a.m. That's going to be Eastern Standard Time, so East Coast, New York time. And then, of course, as always, we'll be live tomorrow night. I know we didn't go live tonight until 9 o'clock, but I had to get my little one settled in. Y'all, she got her first all fours day today for the first time this school year, which is incredible. She usually comes home, like, it's graded, 0 is the worst and 4 is the best. She got all fours today. I was so freaking proud of her. I went and got her Dairy Queen. So we're going to do that. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern. And hug the ones you love a little tighter tonight, guys. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.